Story time on how I got addicted to opiates. I actually get this question quite often. Because for whatever reason, there's such a stigma around what an addict looks like, and I really want my page to be a place where we can deconstruct that stigma. I was probably 17 years old when we started going to this hookah lounge in Tempe, Arizona. And basically the way we would get in there is bringing one person that was 18 with us. The people that own the hookah lounge would allow you to come in underage as long as you had one person that was 18 with you. Very illegal, I know. One night it was like really boring, slow, and so we decided to leave. So we got in our Uber. I had a friend who follows me on here, so shout out. We'll call her Kay. She was like very outgoing and definitely like the life of the party. So we were getting in our Uber and she was just like not done for the night. So she started like talking to these dudes. I don't really know how she started talking to these dudes, but basically somehow she started talking to this dude and he was like, oh, there's a party back at my place. Like, you guys can go if you want. We end up taking our happy asses over to this random man's apartment at 17 years old. We met this dude when we were there. He was the guy that we had originally met at the hookah lounge. It was his cousin. He was kind of weird, to be honest. Like, he had a girlfriend and he told us like not to sit next to him. They were doing a lot of cocaine, you know. I can't remember how I started this video, but I would like to preface that I was already doing DRUGS. I just wasn't doing opiates yet. So fast forward, we start hanging out with these dudes pretty often. The guy that was kind of weird at the party, his cousin, we did not hang out with for a while, but when him and his girlfriend broke up, he started hanging out with us. And basically, pretty quickly, I hit it off with this dude. Now, I happened to be hooking up with the original dude during this time. So I was in my SLUT era, which we love for anyone, but yeah, I was definitely in that era. Yeah, so I started hooking up with both of them. Oh my God, why am I posting this? We were doing a lot of DRUGS together. Just like every time we'd hang out, we did a lot of MOLLY, a lot of everything, okay? This dude was definitely a very much poly addict. He did whatever he could get his hands on. We started dating and pretty quickly we were just like doing a lot of shit, okay? He had a cousin, we will call her Nicole, and she was getting prescribed prescription opiates for, I honestly have no idea what for. So she was like offering it to us every time that we would like party with them. She basically would just like share with everyone, and she also like got prescribed Ambiens, Somas, like literally everything. Obviously she had a very crooked doctor. So we started doing that pretty much every day, and I was not educated on the fact that like this type of medication got you physically dependent. Like, I had no idea. So basically one day I woke up sick and I was like, literally, what the hell is going on? And I realized that I was now addicted to this medication. I think that's something that really needs to be talked about more, like the fact that we are just not educated as young children, or not young children, but like teens, I guess, on this subject, because I had no idea you could get like physically dependent on something. Like, I always thought like, oh, somebody was addicted to drugs, like they just like were choosing to do that, like they could stop at any time. Like, I had no idea at that point that like you got physically dependent on something like that. Basically what happened was I was probably like 18 at this point, and that is when fentanyl started coming out, and obviously prescription opiates were harder and harder to find. It got to the point where pretty much all doctors like that my friends knew of like were no longer prescribing them that stuff. One day we met somebody at a gas station next to the apartment we were renting out. He was like, oh, I have some strong Percocets. Yeah, there's no such thing as strong Percocets. Like, Percocets come in the milligram they come in, and that's it. He told us that he could get Perc 30s that were stronger, and I ended up ODing that night. And I soon discovered what fentanyl was, and that I was actually addicted to fentanyl now, and that was a very scary day for me. And for the next 9 years, I did fentanyl, and that was a really fun journey for me. So yeah, I'm almost a year and a half sober, and I am so happy and just thankful to be out of that life. Honestly, sometimes wonder like if we never went to the hookah lounge that day, or if like we never met those people, if I would have ever gotten addicted. You know, obviously that thought always crosses my mind. I don't regret anything in my life because it made me the person I am, but I do wonder if we never went to the hookah lounge that day, if things would have been different. I know you guys always have a lot of questions about my addiction, so yeah, I hope you guys like these stories. If you guys want more story times, let me know.